For now, let's hear it up as I welcome Mr. Deepak Pargaonkar, Vice President, Solution Engineering at Salesforce, joining us to tell us more about enabling business to deliver trusted AI and, of course, everything the team Salesforce is ready to wait on.
Almost a time to say good afternoon. So good afternoon, everyone. And yeah, pretty interesting conversation right since the morning on what as well as how. What AI can do, what all things are we experiencing, and some of the aspects on how things can happen. And my session will be a combination of two. A little bit of a what, a little bit of a how. But let me just start with a video. And that video is about a brand that all of us know. And of course, let me tell you, this is a representative brand just to build the conversation. So may I please request for the video to roll on, please?
It's all about personalizations this day. You don't expect to switch on the TV and find the 3 channels where you don't have the opportunity to pick and choose what you want to watch. And the same goes with the shopping experience. This is what we were trying to solve, to personalize the customer journey.
Here at Gucci Client Services, we are looking to increase the connection, bringing the human touch to every interaction that we can with our customers. We needed to find a way to improve on the responses when talking about the product, but also keeping consistency with that tone of voice that is Gucci across a whole team. I'm not sure what tools are out there, but something to really impact the team as they communicate to the customer.
We started working with Salesforce Science Department on an AI tool that is able to augment advisors' capabilities.
It was a bit far-fetched as a project. I didn't know. I mean, it was a new animal, right? I was like, okay, great, but what is the end game of it?
Why we settled on Einstein, it is multifaceted. What Einstein does is collaborate actually with the advisor and improve the way that the responses are given, keeping the human touch while using technology to do so.
Einstein AI tool is more of like a helping hand. It'll take their keywords and will automatically give me service replies over here on the right. I'll always click the edit just to make sure that it's my voice that's showing through. I'm taking the style number, I'm putting it into our knowledge, and it'll give me all of the options for authorized retailers, direct stores.
Through Einstein, we really give the opportunity to the client advisor to have ready by hand suggestions and recommendations that can serve the client in a better way, a romance, a selling experience.
Can you imagine how awesome would it be if everyone's performance is raised? And I see a difference starting. We're improving the response, but it's improving the team as well.
I'm beyond amazed by the initial results.
We wanted a close partnership with someone where together we could build something, and this is what Salesforce has given us.
We are on the same cultural ground, so I think this is the match between the 2 organizations. If we think about Gucci 100 years ago when we started, it was a family business in Florence. We are now a global company. You have to embrace the technology, find a good partner that can work together with you in developing the technology, but never wait to have the perfect solution, because then you're going to be behind competition and it's going to be too late. This is the kind of game that Gucci will have to play in order to continue to be one of the most important luxury brands in the industry.
Great, thank you very much for the video. Okay, so let's talk quickly about a few things. We just saw over here. See, we all know that every brand has a persona. And every brand is very particular about how it engages with the consumers. And especially the brand like the high-end brands, everyone would be very particular about how you engage with the customers. There are a few things that you are seeing over here. There are some terms: experience, client advisor, and enabling or augmenting human capabilities, AI. Some of these things that you would be seeing over here. AI-generated replies have shortened the learning curve. And I'm sure that all of these are the things that each one of us or our customers that we work with want to achieve, because the journey has already started. And that's something that the speaker were talking since morning. And all of us know that. There are enough number of statistics, and we all also know that probably our search engine now is changing from the erstwhile to maybe a generative AI-based any of the solutions. That has started happening in the consumer world. And like most of the technologies, consumer world starts experiencing that first. And then businesses are left with no choice to offer those capabilities to the consumers. Because you and me are so used to these technologies now that organizations have to start supporting us with those technologies. And maybe because of that, or because of the thought leadership of the organizations and the brands, they already are doing the work in this. And all of us know that. These statistics surely remind us of that. Everyone is thinking about AI. People are either thinking about, should we have our own LLM, or should we kind of leverage any of the existing LLMs? What should be our strategy? What are the use cases? I mean, every speaker who was coming here was talking about the use cases, LLMs, the choices that the customers have, all of those things. And that you see over here, this enterprise AI adoption has already begun. What started as a consumer-oriented journey, now the enterprises are also adapting to that. However, when it comes to the enterprises, it's absolutely important that enterprises focus on some important aspects. Just imagine, there are some problems, maybe with AI technology, it is nascent or whatever it is, and it starts giving the responses which are not appropriate for your brand to give to your consumers. That's going to be a problem. Sometimes there could be these problems of toxicity, hallucination, and many other, maybe including accuracy. There are some other problems also that probably every CEO or every CXO is thinking about. That, hey, are the LLMs going to use my customers' data, my consumers' data to train them? I am sure that each one of us have interacted with our customers who have this concern that will this data be leveraged to train the LLMs? And by the way, where are all these LLMs got the training? They have literally scraped through the entire internet data, wherever it was available, and they kind of have created those models. And the models have been trained over there. So there's a concern. There is trust issue. Yeah, we can call it as trust gap, or there is a little bit of a concern. So as you can very clearly see over here, yes, organizations want to give that experience to the consumers. They want to enhance the productivity of their organization. They want to do a lot of things like 24/7 support, intelligent conversations, and many other things like what we saw in the Gucci video. But there are certain things that they need to do. And forget about what kind of diagram or the terms this diagram has. But I just want to bring your attention to a few things. What is that? One, we all know proverbially, for AI, data is important. For the consumer world of AI, probably the internet is the data source. But when the organization wants to engage with the consumers, what's the source of the data? What's the most trusted source of the data that everyone in the organization can believe in? It is your own data. Organizations' own data, what typically you may call it as a first-party data, etc., that's the most important source. And what do we know? The data is of very different kinds today. Gone are the days when we only had information like transactional data, demographic information. Today, data is everywhere. I'm doing my web surfing, I'm doing my mobile application, I'm doing some social media posts. All of this data, and it's in various forms. It's in the form of text, structured, unstructured, images, whatever, audio files, video files. So that data is of humongous size as well as various types. But believe me, all the organizations today are generating that data through their own sources. And that becomes the most important source for them, as you can see over here, this term called data cloud over here, okay? Incidentally, we have a solution called as data cloud, which allows the organizations to get all of that data, which is required for them to give that great experience, the AI experience to their consumers. Because first and most important thing, most trusted source of data is organizations' own data. Now, once you have your data and you have consolidated all of that data together, one term that you are seeing on the right-hand corner, where you can see that beautiful picture of Einstein, which is trust layer. Let me tell you a little bit about what that trust layer is. Trust layer is something for organizations to provide trusted AI application services to their consumers, which I earlier spoke about. And what could be the challenges? Initially, I spoke about hallucination, toxicity, or a few other issues, or the other issue of the organization's data being leveraged externally. Just simple thing. If I'm going to talk about getting my information about my consumer, my customer, or some data whereby I have to leverage any of the available LLMs, the public domain or the open LLMs, then obviously the data will have to be exchanged. And that's where this trust layer comes into picture. Whenever the organization is sending out the information outside of its boundaries, it's important for me to ensure that I'm masking the data. What we call it as anonymizing the data, so that that information which goes out only has very relevant information for LLM to return the information back, and not the information about my consumer, which is a highly protected information and needs to be protected information. So while going out, the information will be secured. While coming in, there are a few things which are essential. We spoke about certain challenges. Toxicity could be a challenge. So I have to ensure that while I am getting the data back, the responses back, the technology is ensuring the responses that we are getting are appropriate and they are right for my internal organizational stakeholders to use, as well as pass it on to the consumers. And that is what the technology like trust layer delivers. There are a lot of things which you are seeing over here. I won't really go into specific details of the things, but just to tell you that because the data is of various types, it could be structured, it could be images, it could be documents, it is essential for me at an organizational level to be able to read through, sift through all of that information. And the technologies like vectorizing, RAG, enables the organizations to deliver generative AI experience by using all of those capabilities. So first and foremost, data. Trusted source of your own data. Get all of that data consolidated. Keep an eye on the fact that you need a lot of real-time data. Imagine a situation that someone is browsing on your website and you need to pass on that information to some of your sales folks or service folks that, hey, you know what? Your consumer is browsing through the website. Looks like the consumer is getting stuck on a particular section of the website. It will be better if you place a call on him or her. That's a real-time information exchange. And all of that to be delivered with the data. And when trusted AI is to be delivered, ensure that all of the capabilities of security are taken care of. And once you have done all of that, over here, I'm just trying to list some of the use cases. Now, what you see over here, see, one of the things that you heard in Gucci video was, it is augmenting the capability of my service organization so that human in the loop is important. So as you see over here, it is building the capability of various stakeholders who would be working to give that greater or enhanced consumer experience, your brand promise, your brand experience to your consumers. It might be your salespeople. It might be your marketing people who want to really come out with one of the most creative campaigns and create some simple things like subject line. Or it might be your commerce manager who wants to launch a particular offer, particular product, and leverage the technologies of generative AI to launch that website or the commerce initiative very, very quickly. All of these are the capabilities which are delivered by our kind of organization in some of the things which are readily available. But the most important thing over here is enabling the organizations, internal stakeholder, as well as consumer, along with a lot of other benefits that the AI technologies bring to the table. That trusted AI, that the consumers can trust in, that your organization can rely on, and you can be very, very sure that your brand promise of delivering that to your consumers in a trusted fashion is absolutely you are keeping it intact. And once you all of that, once you do everything right, we all know that it surely has a potential, because very simple things. It is giving you a 24/7 capacity or capability, whereby consumers can have interaction with you at any point in time. It is making your internal stakeholders like your sales folks, your service folks, more productive by giving that necessary intelligence and the capabilities in the hand of that person. Imagine that a salesperson is getting information about, hey, this is the next product that you can sell. And for that product sale to be done, this is a beautifully drafted letter, which is very relevant based on your customer's information that I am drafting for you with the help of generative AI technology. This is something which is enhancing and boosting the productivity, which can result into some of these numbers. But it is essential for all of us to think about how we will do all of that in trusted format, so that focus on our data by consolidating that data to be used for the business purposes by the business stakeholders, to be using something like a trust layer to ensure that you are doing that in a secure and a trusted manner. And then, of course, whatever we heard from all speakers and whatever you all are embarking on, we can fulfill that promise of generative AI. With that, I thank all of you. I know that I had a responsibility of finishing well within the time, but I tried my level best. And thank you very much for all your attention. Thanks a lot.